Over the last year, I've been lucky enough to work with ABRSM, developing a number of pieces ranging from ukulele music to single-handed piano music. Now, a lot of pianists are aware of Ravel's Piano Concerto, the Godowsky Studies for one hand, or Blumenfeld Etude, but not a lot of this music is actually playable. So that was the challenge set by ABRSM. Can you write a grade 1 or a grade 2 piece for one hand, either left or right hand? And this is a rather wonderful challenge for a composer, because it's all well and good writing for Nicholas McCarthy, for example, who can do more with one hand than most pianists can do with two. Can you write a musically satisfying, technically accessible piece just for one hand, and maybe even just the span of a fifth or a sixth if it's a child playing, for example? That's the challenge, and without sounding too smug, I'm reasonably happy with the result. So there are 4 pieces in total: Sandcastles, Mirror Dance, Night Wishes, and Sea Tales. The first piece, Sandcastles, can be played by the left or right hand alone, but to be completely honest, I was thinking of the left hand in particular. That's why the melody is at the top, which is where your thumb is, and that's especially satisfying and natural, I think. I think the best way to sum up this piece would be bittersweet. Sweet, because the tune is essentially a descending major triad. Bitter, because of that diminished fifth that lurks towards the end of each phrase, based on the Lydian mode. And anyone who knows me knows that I love a good Lydian mode. It's basically my cheat code to inventing nice melodies and chord progressions. Another thing to note about this piece is that it sort of sets up the atmosphere for the following pieces. It includes a lot of the same pianistic shapes and some of the same kind of harmonic shifts. For example, that unexpected E-flat major chord towards the end is sort of foreshadowing similar harmonic twists in the pieces to come. Night Wishes is the second piece, and like the first, the melody sits on top so that it's easily accessible to either the thumb or pinky, two fingers which are kind of accustomed to playing melodies. And again, like Sandcastles, there are these slightly unexpected harmonic twists and turns, which I'm quite fond of. The title, like most of my titles, to be honest, came at the very end. I will have finished the piece, and I'm scratching my head, desperately trying to come up with a title, desperately trying to resist the urge to use ChatGPT. But an image that was kind of in my mind was Mike Flanagan's series on Netflix. So that'll be either Midnight Mass or The House of... forgotten the name. Maybe someone can comment the name. It's very, very good, very, very scary. But yeah, a kind of creepy, gothic, but also hopefully beautiful piece. The third piece is Mirror Dance, and stands out probably amongst the 4 in that it has the least harmony. There's kind of a solo line in the main section, which is then harmonized a little bit in the middle. I think it's kind of channeling my obsession with Mahler, which doesn't really find an outlet in my piano music very often, but it's got this Viennese 3 dancey feeling, I think, which comes through. I can tell you that ABRSM rejected the original title, which was Doppelganger. So what do you think? Doppelganger, Mirror Dance. I think they're both good. I think Doppelganger is better. The final piece is Sea Tales, and it's probably the most difficult piece because the melody is at the bottom of the texture, meaning you're relying on your weaker fingers to play it. And so to voice this melody, to actually execute a convincing legato, requires fairly developed control of those weaker fingers. Structurally, it's very simple. You hear the tune, then you hear the tune again, a bit lower and a little bit louder. And again, just like the previous pieces, this one also contains slightly surprising harmonic progressions, specifically D minor, B minor, 2 chords which aren't usually associated within the same key, which kind of links back to the first piece and brings a unity to the set.